All right, guys, we're over here by our D-balls at B-Gym, and we're going to talk about the D-ball clean and the D-ball hang clean. The cool thing about the D-ball is this is just an odd object, but the clean is the exact same focal points as a barbell clean, the dumbbell clean. We're using violent extension of our hips, ankles, and knees to take some object, whether from the hang or from the ground, to our shoulder. Same exact thing whether we're using the barbell or we're using the dumbbell, and this is a phenomenal exercise and movement that has great transference to everyday life. Just think about it. Odd objects, we're encountering them every single day, or I would say often within our life, whether we're picking up a bag of dog food, we're picking up a child, or maybe we're just moving something that's really low to the earth. So these mechanics are 100% going to transfer. So let's talk first and foremost about the D-ball clean. Very simple approach, okay? First thing we want to understand is this weight right here needs to be as close to the center of our mass as possible. This is not close to the center of our mass. This is close to the center of our mass. So if you notice, the weight is directly under the center of my body. We always want to position ourselves here when we're lifting the med ball off of the ground, okay? Now, two different approaches that I'm going to go over here. Number one, hey, this weight is pretty light, so I can just go one fluid motion from the ground to my shoulder. That's what I'm going to show you here. So I'm going to bend at my hips, then bend at my knees, okay? I'm going to get my hands or my forearms, the base or the start portion of my forearms around the ball. So I want to get a good grip on the ball. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to deadlift the ball up. When I get the weight around my hips, I'm going to violently extend my hips and knees and take the ball to my shoulder. Okay, that is a D-ball clean from the ground, if the weight is light enough. And if you notice, I am focusing on posture. I'm not just blatantly allowing my spine to round. Going to an object this low will give you some natural rounding, but as long as we're breathing, we're pressurizing appropriately, we should be okay, and as long as we're going to our earn ranges. So one more time, bend at the hips, bend at the knees, keep as much posture as I can, pressurize up to my shoulder, okay? D-ball clean, option number one, if the weight is light enough. Option number two, which is if this weight is extraordinarily heavy or we're going to need some assistance and we can't just pull it from the ground. All right? Center ourselves on top of the weight. First thing we're going to do is we call it lapping. But we're going to pick the weight up, deadlift it up, and bring it to our lap. Okay? Watch one more time. Underneath the center of my hips, lift, lap. Okay? If you notice, I bring my feet in just a little bit so that I'm not driving my knees together to lap this weight. One more time. Lift, lap. Okay? And I'm going to stay in that position. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my chest to the ball. I'm going to get a good grip, and then from that position, breathe, pressurize my trunk, violently extend my hips and knees, and take the ball to my shoulder. Watch. Okay? Pretty cake. One more time. Good posture through my spine. Deadlift, step my feet in lap, chest to the ball, big hug, up to the shoulder. Okay? Now, I can go over my shoulder, I can go up to my shoulder and down, but that is how we do a D-ball clean from the ground. Now, let's talk about the hang D-ball clean. Not much different, and the shapes look the same. So, when I start from my hang position, what do I have to do? I have to deadlift it up, okay? So I deadlift it up, I lap it, I bring my chest to the ball, and I'm up to my shoulder. This time though, I want to only go back to my lap position. So I'm going to keep the ball close to my body, I'm going to roll it down my body to my hang position, back up. Watch again. To my hang position, back on up. Let me show you from the side, it's almost like a kettlebell swing. Hang position, back up. Hang position, back up. And notice my arm position, okay? I want that ball contacting my hands and my forearms at this position. And if you notice, I'm simply going into a basic hinge, and if I had a barbell, it would be our hang position before I violently extend the hips and knees to get the weight to the shoulder. So, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. That is the D-ball clean from the ground or from the hang.